how can a construction business generate new clients and new projects through advertising? So this is what the video is going to be talking about today. Now, the very first thing we have to understand is why should you consider advertising? Because this is not going to be for everyone, although it's going to be helpful. But in what kind of position should you be in to consider advertising? Now, there's multiple ways to generate new clients and new contracts and new projects, not only in the construction business, but in, we can say generally the service industries or any kind of business that requires lead generation. But why am I talking specifically about construction businesses in this video is because we have a lot of those clients and we've had a lot of success with those clients. Before we even talk about the how and what to do, you have to understand in what kind of position should you be in and why would you even consider advertising. And usually how it works when clients come to us is one of many things. Many of our clients, they've built their entire business on referrals. So that's how they pretty much get started. Many of them, they started a long time ago, maybe as a handyman, or maybe they got introduced into the business, they got involved into the business, and then they complete a project. And then after that first project, the client was happy, then they start the word of mouth starts getting out. But the thing with this kind of business is, of course, there's going to be ups and then there's going to be downs, and not all seasons and not every year is going to be good. You might have a good year, or you might have a good quarter, or even a good month, but afterwards it just starts to feel dry. Or a couple of bad projects can completely eliminate all your referrals that should have come in. And that's the risk with the referrals. Now, of course, referrals are great, but ads is where you want to be if you want to generate a consistent lead flow coming in, and when you have a consistent pipeline. So that's when you start advertising. And usually when you advertise, one thing you have to understand compared to referrals is that with ads, leads are generally a lot colder. Because when referrals come in, there's like a common point of touch or a common point of trust. So someone's been introduced by another person that's in the middle, and the barrier is a lot lower. Like someone has had experience working with you in the past, so the trust is a lot higher. Whereas with ads, there's nothing of that. That person might be in the market for any renovations or any construction or building something or designing something, but they don't trust you yet. They're interested in what you have to offer. They're curious in what you have to offer, but they don't trust you yet. And that's usually the biggest gap between referrals and advertising. Of course, other ways that you can generate clients, there's such as like outreach, reaching out to people. Like there's people also mailing flyers. That's another form of advertising, which is not something we cover here. We cover only online advertising, running advertisements on Facebook, on Google, etc. But of course, outreach is another way that you do it. And some companies, they join other, what they call like even referral partners is a great way to do it with referral partners. So if you're in a position where you need consistent lead flow, or you just had a bad season and maybe you just hired a salesperson, now you have people working under you, you have bigger teams and multiple teams even, and you're at a point where having a good and consistent and quality pipeline of leads coming in every week, every month is something important to you, then this video is going to be important to you. So how do we actually run ads for our clients, or how can you actually run the ads yourself? And one thing I want to be abundantly clear is there's many different ways of advertising. What we cover here is online ads. So when people go online and they search, there's two different ways. Like they either search things like Google or they swipe on social media. So things such as Facebook. And we do cover both, and there's pros and cons with these two different ways. Most of the time, if you're the kind of client that's only starting out, I would recommend far more Facebook and social media than with Google. And the reason for that is Google is great. You might hear people say, oh, there's a lot of high intent, but one thing you have to consider is your website and your landing page. If you do not have a great website or an optimized website, then even if you pay money to Google and you send people to your page, it's not going to be very optimal. And another thing is when people look up things like construction business near me, renovation companies near me, interior design companies near me, then you will find a bunch of other competitors that are similar to you, and it's a very hard way to stand out, although it's very quality people coming in. So one thing you have to consider is good website or pay. You need to have like good reviews, track record, things like that would position you very well for a Google ads play. Whereas on Facebook, this is good if you're a beginner and you're starting out. We've had a client where he just got inside the business. It's his first year in business, and on my page currently there's, I think at this point when this is going to be posted, that other video is going to be posted too, but he got into the business not even a year into the business. He knows pretty much nothing about the business, and because he started running Facebook ads to get new clients, and he partnered with someone, another contractor that knew what he was doing, that knew the technical side of things, and he was an expert, he signed over $1 million worth of contracts within his first year. That's the power of the Facebook ads, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now, what's good with social media and Facebook is most of the time it allows you to run video ad to get in front of people. And the targeting can be so good and so specific, and you can pretty much say anything you want into the ads, and it's easy to make a good first impression. You don't need to have like a great website. That client I was talking about has no website at all, and the only thing you need to do is you film a video ad, you get in front of the people, and then you say the things that needs to get their attention and gets them to trust you and give you a call, and then you're pretty much set. Now the rest is just you learn a few things about sales, you follow up properly, you have good customer service, and then you can watch your contracts and your projects start flowing in. Yes, they're not all going to be like big projects. I'm not promising you that you're going to close any big projects or even any projects at all, but I'm saying that you have a much higher chance, especially as a beginner, to get things going for you and to get leads coming into your pipeline if you run social media ads. So that's the difference between these two. Now I'm going to explain to you what we do for most of the clients that are coming in as a beginner, and we do mix the two of them together. I would say 80% of the time we recommend, and we do run Facebook ads for them, but the Google side is on the remaining 20% of the time. If they have a very good website and other things, then we run Google ads as well. But let's talk about social media and let's talk about Facebook. How do we actually do it? So the first thing is, earlier in the video we talked about the difference between referrals, leads, and advertising leads, where they're a lot colder, they're strangers. So the very first thing is the video part, where you have to capture the attention, the video ad over here. And how do you actually do that? Let me change the color over here. So what we want to do with the video ad is that person's, when you scroll, you're not going to watch like a 5-minute long video. So you have to be very straight to the point and you have to cut to the chase. How you can easily see this is kind of like an elevator pitch, where you have 30 seconds to a maximum like a minute long. So 30 seconds to 60 seconds to make your pitch. Say the important things you need to say and be very direct with them. They don't care about who you are. They don't care about what you do. They don't care about all the things in your story yet. But what you need to address immediately is what can you do for them, who this video is for, and what can you do for them. So usually we would address, okay, if they're in need of a renovation, why they would need a renovation, what can you take care of for them, which city, which area. So you have to be very direct. You might say something along the lines of, okay, so you just bought a new home and you need to completely gut it out and renovate it because the home is great, but it's very old, it's outdated, and you're going to spend a lot of time in it. So let us come in, let us fix everything for you, let us give you a much more modern and spacious feeling inside of your home that you're going to spend the next few years in. And the way we're going to do that is my team is going to come in and we're going to give you an estimation, we're going to give you a quote, and then you let them know what you can do for them. So be very direct here. Important, let them know what can you do for them. Another thing is also a great way to start this off is, who is this for? Who should be watching the video? So you're going to see many of our start in such a way that we say, if you're X, Y, and Z and you're looking for A, B, and C, then here's what we can do for you. So that's a great way to start. It's a very simple and standard way. So depending on what you do, like if you have a design company, you can say, hey, if you're looking for an interior designer that specializes in X, Y, and Z, and you're in A, B, or C cities, then let me show you what we can do for you. That is a great way to do it. Now, what should you do after you've said that is, now you have to display any kind of credibility that you have. So for example, if you've been in the business for more than 10 years, or if you've done many different projects or this season or this year, or if you have X amount of reviews, or what your customers praise you for, or what you specialize in, find a way to really display the credibility. So many times what we usually do is we would praise and we would talk about the track record of the client, or if in that case, for example, if you're new into the business, you don't have any experience, find a way that you can associate with people that has experience. For example, you can say, don't say that you're new, but you can say, oh, our team has a combined experience of X, Y, and Z, and we've completed X amount of projects this year, and this is what we specialize in. So this is where you have to let them know that you know what you're talking about. Find any and all different ways that you can display credibility. And by the way, it doesn't only have to be verbal, but think of it's a video ad, right? Like you have to think about your surroundings as well, the way you speak, the way you dress. So if you're a construction business, then it's a great idea to wear on a polo shirt, maybe if your company logo on it, or maybe you sit in front of a construction site that's happening, that ideally that's your own project. So find different ways that where the moment as they're watching the video, they feel the confidence, they feel confident in you. That's what you want them to feel. So far we have the first part of the video where we're being very, very direct and we let people know who this is for and what you can do for them. And the next part is why do we talk about credibility, is because we've covered the who is this for, we've covered the what you can do for them. Now the credibility part is about why should they listen to you, and that's the second part of the video ad. Now the third part of the video ad is you might have some special, now this is optional by the way, you might have some special like features or something that makes you stand out. Like maybe you have like an advanced rendering design or tool that you use for your clients, that they're able to get their design renderings within 4 hours or 24 hours, within a day, that could be a great way to plug this in. I wouldn't plug it immediately at the beginning of the video unless that's what you're selling, but usually this is where we add a couple of like unique features that you can add, like maybe something about the team, maybe something about your experience, just some unique features. But it's very optional. You don't have to add it in. What's important is the last part of the video. The last part is, okay, now if they're interested, what should they do next? So you don't just stop the video there, but you let them know what should they do next, like help them and move them towards the next step. For example, so if you're interested, then click over to the next page. You're going to have a short application form. Just fill out the form. Should take you 30 seconds. Have them fill out their name, their phone number, and also some ideas they have or what kind of projects they have, what city they're located, etc. You don't have to explain all this stuff, but simply let them know what they should do next. So click over to the next page, fill out a form, and then one of our reps or our receptionist or one of our team members is going to be in touch with you and walk you through the next steps and show you what we can do for you. So that's pretty much the part about the video ad, and which is just the first part. The next thing that happened is now we have the video and we run the ads to the right people that we want to target. Now the next part is they come in and they're officially a lead. A lead is being generated. So what do we consider a lead? Is the people watch the video after they need to fill out a form, and usually it's a qualification form, and not anyone and everybody can fill out the form. This is important to know. But for the people that do fill out the form, we use the form and we set up the examples of that. Could be if they're looking to do their renovations next year. It's a bit far, so depending on the client, maybe it's not something that they might consider right away. Like especially if you do not want any window shoppers, you might disqualify them. You might kick them out of the form. For example, if they're not within the city or that you service, then you kick them out of the form. If they don't have a realistic budget that you're looking for and they're just there to waste your time, then you kick them out of the form. And what that does is at the end, the lead that comes to you are only the qualified leads. So that saves you time and it makes the sales process a lot easier. And not only that, but another great thing that happens is the algorithm, the social media algorithm. As more and more people fill out the form over here, the algorithm is trained to pass the form data back to the platform. So depending on the kind and the type of people that fill out the form, remember, we only let the qualified leads complete the application form, and all the qualified leads that ends up completing the application form gets sent back to the algorithm and to the platform, so that the platform can then go and find more and more similar people to you that will continue to fill out a form. So your leads will get better and better and better, and your cost per lead will get lower and lower. So that's a good way to set up your form. And now we've covered the second step, which is when the lead comes in. The third step is what should you do after the lead comes in. Now this is a very critical point, because most of the time this is where our clients have a hard time. The lead generation part is actually not difficult, but the sales part is what makes it hard. And why do I keep mentioning that and reminding not only the person watching this video right now, but also our clients, is leads that are coming from advertising are a lot colder than leads that come from referrals. So symptoms or behavior that they might show is they might be slow at replies. They might need more nurturing, more follow-ups. They might need more call, communication. They might even ghost or no reply. And for sure, if they're qualified and they're motivated, then they're probably shopping multiple people at the same time, shopping multiple companies at the same time. They might have more objections and hesitations as well. But those are all things that we help you with as well, and you don't have to be afraid of that. That's okay. I'm just saying this, that these things that you notice or that you will notice is okay if they're happening. Like, it's normal, because these people, remember, they're very high up on the interest spectrum. They're interested and they're curious, but what they're lacking is the trust. So it's our job and our client's job to help bring the leads from the trust over here to the trust over here. And this is the phase that happens next. How do we actually do that? Well, it's actually very simple. If you look back at even your referral leads, or generally speaking, like what goes through a prospect or a lead mind before they close. We talked about multiple follow-ups, multiple communications. They might think talk to their wife, talk to their husband, so a lot of back and forth. So if you want to put a number to that, usually what's the number of touch points? And I talk about this in a lot of my other videos. The number of touch points that they usually go through before they end up closing. Like, what's the number of back and forth? Usually it's around 20 to 30. And if you want to just simplify your whole thing, is find a way to talk to them 20 to 30 times and then watch your average close starts coming in. Like by the time you talk with them 20 to 30 times back and forth and they're still replying, the odds of them closing is gonna be very, very, very high. So you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to worry if they don't reply, they ghost, or they're slow at replying. Just remember, they need more follow-ups, they need more communication, they need more nurturing. And the only reason for that is because yes, they're interested, yes, they're curious, but they don't have the trust. And it's your job to bring their trust from what here all the way up to here. And the way that you do that is you have to make them feel confident in you. You have to make them feel confident in your team, in your capabilities, in your brand, etc. So make them feel confident. They have the motivation, they have the but they do not have the trust. So you have to bring their confidence level up. So an important thing to keep in mind is, especially when I talk about follow-ups, and here's where a lot of you really mess up, is what I mean by follow-up is I don't mean things like, have you seen my message? Like, no, you never say this kind of stuff. Or have you seen my proposal? Or worse than that, I've seen clients send things like question mark to the leads. This is not a good idea. Why? Because imagine you're the lead. You annoy them. It doesn't feel good. What you have to do is, remember, you have to increase the amount of times that you talk to them without being annoying, like that's the things that you do here. And the ultimate goal is to make them feel more confident. So with that formula, the only thing that you can do and you must do is in terms of follow-up. Now, this is how we do follow-ups, or this is how we consult our clients to do follow-ups when it comes to the lead. Instead of sending them question marks, send them some testimonials to past clients. What do they say about you? Past clients, especially if they're similar to the leads that are coming in or to the specific leads that are coming in. Testimonial is good. Talk about some frequently asked questions. Make sure that they don't have any hesitations or questions that are unanswered. Walkthrough or even like videos. For example, if the client is interested in a luxury design, then you can maybe send them a video about another project that you did in the past, which in this case would fall within the testimonial of another client that you did that had a luxury design, and talk about what you did for that client and why, so that it shows that you've had past clients that hired you, and also that you know what you're talking about. That's a great way to circle back and consistently prove to them and show them that you know what you're talking about and get their confidence levels up. Another way, if you don't have any testimonials, and you can do it through forms of like proposals or ideas. So in the case, same thing, if your client wants a luxury design and you do not have a past client that has a luxury design, what you can do is show them ideas that you have. Go look up online, look at what other people are doing. Think, what would your client like, and send them a video or send them a text message, send them an email about how you would do it for them and why you would do it for them. This consistently, and keep showing to your lead that you know what you're talking about, you're motivated, and you really care about their designs, or you really care about the results that you want to bring them. That gives more confidence in them. And it doesn't matter if they reply or they don't reply. At some point they will reply, but of course don't text them like every hour. Leave a day or leave a day or two to give them some space to think about it. But walkthrough videos are great to get back in touch with the people. Another things that you can talk about is current projects, like things that are not done. Like it falls a bit into the walkthroughs, but current projects that are ongoing that you're working on, share with them. Hey, like I'm working on this and I think this is going to be a bit similar to you, or if it's not similar to you, then like ideally share things that are similar to them. So it shows again that you have clients that are hiring you for your expertise. So current projects is a great way to also send them information. Educational videos is a great way. For example, what I'm filming right now, like educate your leads on why you do things that you do your way. And this way it gives them more confidence in you again. So no matter what we're doing, you find ways to just stack up your touch points over here and watch how your leads become warmer and warmer and warmer, and watch how many of them end up closing. Like what we've noticed is between the people that, let's say, they only do 2 to 3 follow-ups versus the people that does 20 to 30, like you might close like 1 deal out of 10 or 1 deal out of 20, but as you do more and more of these follow-ups, and as you stack them up and you get in the habit of getting your team to also do it, or yourself, then you start closing deals like 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5, or even 2 out of 3, and you make most out of your leads, and of course you make more revenue and income, and you close more deals. So that's the important part about the sales and the nurturing. So let's do a quick recap. We talked about the ads itself that are coming through videos, and then they fill out the form, which is the lead over here. Then what we just talked about is the sales process and the touch point, how to nurture the leads and how to bring their confidence from a point that's over here to a point that's over here. Then the rest is pretty much simple. It's pretty simple, is the close. From that point on, just close the deal, have them put a deposit or sign a contract, and then you have your deals closed. Now, there's many more advanced tactics that we deploy, of course, in our advertising campaigns, but generally speaking, these are the 4 main points that you have to pay attention to, or should I say like 3 main points, like the sales part, the qualification qualification part and then the video ads, because like for example, this is where what you do to bring on the right people. Over here to generate the leads, right people, and then here is what you do to qualify the people, to make sure that they're not the bad people. Qualify the lead, and this is what you do over here, is what you do to nurture the right people, and of course you close. And that is how you turn strangers into closed deals. That is how you advertise to strangers, get them to come inside your pipeline and close them even if they don't know you.